Hello and welcome. This is Chrisanne. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chrisanne. Today we are going to be talking about Temu. I love Temu. I absolutely love Temu. But there is a downside and a negative side to Temu. As an artist myself, and as somebody who has created 14 oracle decks, my first one is going to be published. Well, it's going to be available for pre-order to be published by the end of this month, so check that out, FYI. So as somebody who has created decks, I take this very seriously. I want to show the reality of what the real deck looks like versus when you purchase something on Temu. Now, I'm saying Temu, but I'm meaning all those other online overseas companies like Wish as well. So it's Wish, it's Temu, it's all of them. And I have seen some on Amazon as well. I have seen some of these on Amazon. These are the knockoffs. These are the real things. I am going to show you the difference using these three specific decks on what the knockoff looks like versus what the real one looks like. Now, I did a video a couple years ago on this exact thing. I purchased these a long time ago, a while ago. And then I purchased one more not too long ago because I wanted to do this video specifically. I do not purchase the knockoffs to give them business. I am only purchasing them to show the negativity of it, in all honesty. I sell decks. Yes, I create decks and I sell decks, and never in a million years would I sell these. I only sell these. I sell the real decks from the publishers or the artists directly. Okay. I used to have a brick and mortar shop, and I used to sell well over 450 varieties of tarot and oracle cards. I have over 550 in my personal collection of the real deal. I'm not counting these. These are not the real deal. These are the real deal. I am passionate about this. I know decks. People came to me for decks for years. I have a website. You can go to my website. You can see all the decks I have for purchase on my website. Those are the real deal. I'm going to show you how you can spot a fake without knowing it's a fake. One thing is, if you see the card deck like this, well, a lot of times actually they show you the real thing. I've seen that on Temu and Wish and all of those, even on Amazon sometimes. They'll show you a picture of the real deck, but in the wording, they will say, and let's see, which one are we going to open? Let's open this one. In the wording, they will say, book not included. PDF version of the book. Those are two things that they say that are sort of a tip-off. When you are buying a real deck, now my deck does not come with a book, and I state that on the thing on why you don't need a book. These are saying, yeah, you're going to get a book in a PDF form or no book included. Mine never comes with a book. And I explain why in my description of my deck. These, they say, you either get a PDF version of the book or no book is included in this one. Now, here's the knockoff in this box. Let me go to this one. So this is Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck. That's this particular one that I'm showing right now. This is the real one. This is the book that comes with it. You're supposed to get a book that comes with it. That's the book. These are the cards. Imagery-wise, artwork-wise, it looks similar. We're not talking about the size. Obviously, there's a massive size discrepancy. But we're talking about the artwork. Yes, this is a different color scheme than this one. This is darker, this is lighter. But they've knocked off the artwork on that. This is just the cover one. Let me find the piece card in here so I can hold up the exact same card so we can look at, oh, here it is. Size, huge difference. Thickness, this is a nice thick card. This is like a thin playing card. These are the size of a playing card. This is a thin deck. If you want to know if something is a knockoff, go to the actual website that sells it. In this case, let's see, this is published by US Game Systems. So you can go to US Game Systems or do a Google search on Vintage Wisdom Oracle by Victoria Mosley. Get the size dimensions of the cards, because that will be in the description. Look at the description. Does it include a book? Etc. Then go back to, and I'm just picking on Temu. I'm just picking on them. I love Temu. I get art supplies from Temu. And I try my best to not get knockoff things. Does it happen? Yes, it does. It inadvertently happens. Sometimes with my rubber stamps. I'll get a set of rubber stamps and not know that it's a knockoff. And it breaks my heart to know that I've purchased a knockoff. But for something like this, you can easily do just a couple seconds of research and see, is this a knockoff? You know, the other thing is decks are anywhere from $25, $75. I've seen them as much as $5,000 a deck. Yes, decks are expensive. If it's a retired deck, there's a retired deck that I use in my repertoire that's anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 right now because it's out of print. When decks go out of print, like this one, the prices skyrocket for the real thing. When you're going to Temu, you're seeing these for $3, $5, $6, and you're like, oh my goodness, that's so unbelievably cheap. But if you go to eBay, where you're buying from the person directly, or Etsy, where you're buying from the person directly, and you might see a difference in the price, I can understand wanting to get the cheaper version. I truly can understand it. Money is tight for everybody right now. But just know, for somebody like me who designs decks, these are not my decks that I have designed right here in front of me. You are taking money out of my son's mouth. And that's the truth. If you were to purchase a knockoff version of my deck, which is why I'm having it printed in the United States, I looked for a company in the United States that prints in the United States. That was important to me, so I knew it wasn't going overseas where our copyright laws don't govern anything. And that's how they're getting away with these things. Now, is that going to stop them from knocking off everything they want to? No. They still do what they do. But I wanted to show you the huge difference in weight and weight of this one. I mean, this is a substantially thicker. You can hear the difference. You can see the difference. Significant difference. I mean, size-wise, obviously, there's a difference. But if you are somebody that is reading cards and you need the book to go with it, yeah, you're not getting the book with this one. They send you like a PDF, something. I've never looked at the PDFs. I don't know the quality of what is in the PDF, so I can't tell you. I've never gone that route. I've only seen it in descriptions. None of these ever come with a book, a printout, anything. And I mean, it's still the card content. And do you know what I'm going to do with these now that I have them and now that they're open? The other ones that I purchased to do that video with, the sort of debunking video that I did a while ago, when I make journals, I make junk journals and art journals. I tuck these cards into, every journal gets 2 cards, if not more cards. And I tuck them in to the journals that I make, so they don't get wasted. I do not turn around and sell them. I want to emphasize that 50 gazillion times. I use them as artwork in my art, in my junk journals. So take it for what you will if I'm putting it in a junk journal. But it still has the information on it. But if you're going to purchase the real deck, yeah, you're going to pay, I don't know, $25, $55 for a real deck. But if it's something you're going to be using all the time, it's an investment that's well worth it. And I know for my deck, I'm going to be using it all the time. In every reading I do, I'm going to be using my deck. Granted, it's my deck. But I'm hoping other people will connect with my deck enough and be okay spending their hard-earned money on my deck. And do you know how much time went into creating that deck and creating the artwork for each and every card, creating the back of each and every card, creating the wording that goes on each and every card? There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into that. And we're talking about years, because then you have to go through the publishing process and deal with all of that, etc. Years it takes working on one deck. And then for somebody to come along and charge $3, $5, $10, it's frankly an insult. And the artist gets none of this money. Zero of this money. So that's a little bit of my high horse on that. You know, I just did a whole deck review on this, and part of what I like about this deck is the really cool box that it comes in. You know, there's a nice magnet on this box, and you open this up and here's the beautiful book that comes with it, and here's the beautiful cards in this gorgeous presentation with a beautiful full color book. And then you come over here and you look at this one, if I can get it open. Let me grab my scissors. Oops. There's absolutely none of that fanciness that this box, this book has. Yep, I got them all out. Substantial difference in size, once again. Very thick card, very thin card, playing card size. And I mean, granted, it's the different imagery on the front, but you can see this is a paler version of this as well. So the coloring is off, the size is off, the weight is off, the really fun presentation of the box is non-existent. The book, non-existent. I did a complete review of this that I posted Sunday of this week with the weekly psychic predictions, and I did a deck review of this one, the Heal Yourself reading cards. Check out this if you're interested in this deck, and I linked it to this deck as well. If you're interested in decks, I do have them on my website. That's linked in every single video that I post, and there's a whole bunch of decks available on my website. But that's the difference when you are getting one of these knockoff decks. This is not as vibrant color wise as this one is. So yeah, I mean, I understand money is tight, don't get me wrong. I fully understand that. More than you know, I understand that. And I just think it's worth, if you need to save for an extra month, to get the real deal, because then the money goes to the person that actually deserves it. And I do believe when you are working with something like tarot and oracle cards, there is a level of karma that is connected to these cards. I am a professional reader. I read with cards for a living. I want my cards to be of the highest and best good, the highest and best energy, the highest and best intentions. If I am purchasing something that's a knockoff, it already is that knockoff intention, the intention of stealing it from the artist. I don't want that energy in my cards that I'm reading with. I am reading with these to help people. I am reading with these maybe to help myself, to help my family members, help my friends, etc. I have the highest and best intentions and good when I am using these cards. I'm calling in my guides, your guides, my loved ones, your loved ones, etc. I want all of that positivity to be able to be there from the get-go so that I can be able to relate that positive, uplifting, intuitive information to you. And I believe that that karma is connected with the cards as well. If you are working from a place of love and light, please maintain that love and light. There is no amount of shungite and clearing and sage and smudging that's going to bring these to the energy of these. I don't care what you do. I keep these to show them and to show the difference on why it's so important to buy either from the artist directly or from the publisher directly, etc. Metaphysical shops, whether it be an online shop like mine or a brick and mortar shop, those are representatives of the publisher or representatives of the artists. I used to buy from artists directly, and I still have a lot of those on my website. Indie decks. I love indie decks. My deck is an indie deck. So think of that when you're doing your work and you're purchasing what you're purchasing. I know for me, I want to support the person I want to support. I want to support this person, not this person. So that's my 2 cents worth. Probably 4 cents worth. But I wanted to show you the huge difference in what you think you're getting, because a lot of it, I know, a lot of it is purely unintentional. You're seeing a good deal on Temu and you're like, oh my God, I want to get that good deal. Hey, I do that when it comes to artwork. I absolutely understand because I do that myself. I'm like, oh, look at that deck. I love that deck. That speaks to me. Oh, it's $5. Wow. That one's 25, 35, whatever it is in the store. Wow, that's a big difference. Okay, maybe I'll get that one. Inadvertently knowing it didn't come with a book. When I had a shop, people used to come in all the time and be like, I bought this deck and it didn't have a book. I'm like, was it this size? No, it was a different size. I'm like, yeah, you bought a knockoff. That's why it didn't come with a book. And I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to come with a book. It's supposed to look like this. It's supposed to be this size. Is yours this size? No. Okay, you bought a knockoff. If you would like to buy the real one, This is how you can do it. Maybe you bought one of these, not knowing you bought one of these, and it really speaks to your soul and you really love it. If you want to get the real one, go ahead and get the real one. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an artist that creates these. I know people that create these as well. So I do my very best to not buy knockoff things when I can. It's hard. Sometimes I do it without knowing it. And I understand that. And I'm not condemning you by any stretch of the imagination. So please know that. But if you want the real deal, this is the real deal. Not this one. And yes, this one is a retired deck. And you can't go and buy this as plentiful as you can buy this. And you know what? There are times that I have said, if you want this so badly and you can't find it, yeah, there are knockoffs available. And sometimes I only say that depending on the artist that created it, because sometimes I think certain artists weren't exactly nice to the people that they were supposed to be being nice to. Yeah. And I know what my karma is for saying that, and that's okay. I said what I said. If you don't know, you can go and look it up. You don't know what I'm talking about. It was a big deal within the metaphysical community, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, something. Yeah. I will leave it at that. But for the most part, 99.9% of the time, I tell people steer clear of these and only go to these. You know, if you want this and you think you're getting this, you're going to have the shock of a lifetime when you get this. Huge difference. Size-wise, quality-wise, presentation-wise, price-wise is a very big difference too, but huge, 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 huge difference. So, okay. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check out every Sunday. I post a review of a different deck every single week. The weekly psychic predictions. My website is linked to every single video I put out there. If you would like to get a private reading with me, maybe you want to take a class on how to read cards, I have that for purchase on my website. And my deck is going to be available for pre-order at the end of February. So check that out. I'm super excited about that. And mine's going to be a 78 card oracle deck. Lots of cards in an oracle deck. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be free.